Hello, good day, beautiful people. I am the Inspirational Lady Noble, 365 Tarot. Welcome to my channel. I greatly appreciate you being here. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. I trust you will love this vibe. And everything you need to know about me is in the description below. This can be past, present, or future, you or someone around you. So take what resonates and the rest for someone else. This is a general read. This is not a personal read. If you like a personal read, just check out the description below, and I'd be happy to assist you with doing so. Remember that tarot is a tool. It is not the final rule. And it is a good idea to have an empty cup when you are on Lady Noble's channel and you really want to see what's up. All are welcome on this channel and all contributions are highly appreciated. Okay? May you find these messages, these readings, poetry, any kind of motivational speech, any kind of post, anything that's on my channel for inspiration for your highest good. There are no other intentions on this channel. Nothing less or more is being conveyed. May you find a spark within yourself. May you find your own awakening and moment of enlightenment, and so that you will pivot in your own timing that is best for you. Not for me, but that is best for you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your love and your support. Okay. Make sure you tell a family, friend, and foe, or you know, to come on over and subscribe so they can be privy to these spiritual notifications. There's enough space in this place for everyone to be notified. Okay. There's enough space in the world for everyone to be loved, talented, gifted. All right. Pay attention to signs and synchronicities. Spirit is saying pay attention to the signs and synchronicities. Collective, pay attention to the downloads. If you get a download or a message to act on, you don't have to be nervous or anxious about it, but Spirit is saying for you to make sure you take action on it, okay? Make sure you don't take lightly whenever, one moment, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. Make sure when you receive signs and synchronicities around you, messages in your dream, be sure to keep a dream journal, so you can write those things down. And maybe a day or two or a week later, reflect on them from time to time. And you will find that your questions being answered. There's a lot of signs and synchronicities, maybe symbolic to your life, answers you've been seeking, desires, questions you've been answering. And make sure when you receive a download that you don't disregard it. If you get an idea, especially when it comes to being creative, Spirit is saying make sure you're not disregarding the downloads, your intuition, your inner niggle, your inner wiggle speaking to you. Just like you receive downloads and messages, you're not the only one in the space and place that receives messages. And so if you're not going to act on it, the divine has to do what they have to do to convey the message. Someone else may receive that download and they just may act on it. So Spirit is saying be mindful no one is copying off of you. Okay, this is for somebody. That's not always the case. There are people who choose to duplicate and imitate the lives and ideas of others, but not all the time. Spirit is saying sometimes when you don't act on downloads or messages that you receive, well, someone else may receive that idea, someone else may receive that download, and they just may choose to proceed and act on it. Doesn't mean that they are copying off of you. What it means is that you received the same message, but you did not act on it. So Spirit is saying be mindful of becoming upset and thinking someone is duplicating you or imitating you. They are just following the messages of source, the messages of divine. Doesn't matter what your belief system is. All are welcome on this channel. Okay. If you are here, you're here for a reason, and I respect that. Okay. So that's for someone. Someone could possibly have been upset or gone into a fit of rage. Assuming, Spirit is saying that someone is copying off of them. And Spirit is saying, no, they received the same download that you received. They just chose to act on it before you did. Okay? That's for someone. That's not for everybody. Okay? So we know, there are some imitators and duplicators, but that's not always, it. That's not always the answer. That's not always what's happening. Everyone is not copying off of you. Everyone is not studying you, trying to duplicate you. Okay? Everyone is not out to get you. Okay? That's the message. All right. One second, ladies and gentlemen. Everything is going to be all right, source is saying. Everything is going to be all right. That's right. Okay, study long. Sometimes you may study wrong. Don't become disappointed when you receive those signs and those synchronicities for you to act on them. And what is for you will never pass you by. You can have Sagittarius placement in your chart somewhere. So you need to trust and know that what is for you will never pass you by. No one can take anything from you, collective. What is meant for you will be okay. All right. It's okay to make mistakes. I'm picking up on someone who is hard on themselves whenever they make a mistake or they forget something. And Spirit is saying it's okay to make mistakes. That's how we learn and how we grow. You may have been taught otherwise. You may have been programmed to think maybe the worst when you make a mistake, or it could be from your upbringing. This could be learned beliefs throughout your family. You know, maybe when you make mistakes, maybe there were people or authority figures around you who likes to criticize you, okay? With Libra energy here, the King of Swords, someone who could be an authority figure, who's a perfectionist. There could be someone in your family, someone who's considered to be a matriarch who could be an extreme perfectionist, okay, who likes and wants everything to be perfect, okay. And this person could be someone, male or female, whom everyone respects and possibly get advice from. And they're likely to criticize if you don't do things their way, okay? And Spirit is saying it's time, with truth in the corner perfect, to allow the unlearning to occur, when it comes to your upbringing. When you are a child, of course, we all follow the rules of what our parents taught us or the rules of the household. That is natural. It's nothing wrong with that. But once you become an adult, and you continue to have these solar returns, these born days, and you accelerate in life, you have free will to change the things that you are not in agreement with. And so Spirit wants you to work on not criticizing or being so critical of yourself. Don't be your own worst critic, Spirit is saying. They want you to continue to be enthusiastic and excited and passionate about life. And it's okay to make your mission and your path a life of your own. You do not have to duplicate or imitate anyone else's image, way of being, doing, or existing. We all are uniquely, individually, divinely created. And the next card we have here says emotional intelligence. And so it says mature and compassionate male, caring, friendly, wise, forgiving, diplomatic, and balanced. So make sure that you're not allowing things that you learned as a small child, or when you were maybe living in the household with this matriarch or this parental figure who was very critical of you. Okay, this can also be an aunt, an uncle, a friend, a family friend, a sibling. This could be anyone. This could be a school teacher. Maybe when you were in grade school, maybe there was a teacher who left a negative impact on you. But whoever has left that negative imprint, on your spirit, Source is saying it's time to surrender that and release it. It is a new day. Each and every day is a new day. As we rest, we rejuvenate and we become anew when we awaken. And so each day you open your eyes, they want you to focus on what you love, never mind the critics, because those who are being critical are actually criticizing themselves. I repeat, those who are being critical of you, collective, are actually criticizing themselves, okay? People only communicate and deliver what's in their heart, what's in their mental faculties. And so during communication, and I don't know if anyone ever considered this, people are only conveying what they have experienced or what they are feeling, possibly in that moment or time, or what they have experienced maybe in the past, okay? And so when someone is choosing to be critical of you, remember, it's about them, it's not about you. They are revealing to you the parts of them that are unhealed, the parts of them that they feel inferior about, insecure about, the parts of them that are very dark, and needs to be tended to, but maybe they choose not to do the healing or do the cleansing or the releasing or, grounding themselves or aligning themselves or getting counseling, whatever it may may be. So when people choose not to do the work, they will continue living their life, but they'll harness that energy, and that energy turns into resentment and anger. And what they do, they go around and they project it onto people throughout the world on a daily basis. This could be their children, their spouses, family members, friends, okay? This could be their neighbors, people on social media, total strangers, co-workers, okay? And so this is a them problem. It's not a you problem. People, they have a right to do what they want, what they please. We can't force anyone to do anything, respectfully so. But there's a lot of people moving about and moving around on a daily who are harnessing a lot of resentment and anger. And until they choose to do something about it, excuse me, confirmation, they will continue to project onto others. Yeah, they will continue to project onto others. Excuse me, collector. That's confirmation, okay? So yeah, that's what that is there. So source does not want you to internalize, though it may have affected you, but you now know. Spirit is saying you have free will, and so hopefully, at this time, whoever that person was that have inflicted that negative energy onto you, that tried to create imbalance as I hold justice in an upside down position. Hopefully you are not still engaging with this person, even if they are a family member. It does not mean you have to engage with them, okay? One second, I'm gonna blow my candles here. It's a human thing. Okay, so hopefully you're not engaging with this person, and allowing them to continuously sabotage you or make you feel bad or pour you down. Especially if you are a parent of your own, maybe you have children of your own. We have to be mindful, especially when we become adults and we become parents as well, because the pain or any kind of dis-ease that we feel or experience, our children will feel it, or it will bleed out into the household, emotionally, how you feel about yourself. Even when you think you are hiding it or suppressing it, it will come up like spoiled milk, okay? Okay, like spoiled milk from a newborn baby, okay? But either way, yeah. So hopefully you're not still engaging with this person here who inflicted this imbalance on you that you may carry with you, and has you maybe feeling as if someone is after you, or everybody is trying to attack you, or everybody is bad, you can't trust nobody, or every time you think of an idea, you're doing something, they're trying to copy you, they're trying to duplicate you. Now if this is in your energy, this could be someone collective that this could be a friend or an associate of yours that maybe when you talk to, they're always complaining, oh, so just copying off me, they trying to compete with me. And spirit is saying that is not always the case. We understand it happens, but every time that someone has maybe the same shirt you have on, they really did not know that you were planning to wear a blue shirt today. They just happened to wake up. As a matter of fact, this person may not even know you, and they decided to wear their blue shirt. And there's nothing more or less going on. And also, at the beginning of this read, before I pull the cards, I mentioned for you to pay attention to the signs and synchronicities in your dreams as well. A lot of times the things that are happening around us are confirmations and are synchronicities. The things that you may consider to be someone copying you just may be a communication from your spirit team, from source, from the universe, trying to communicate with you. So spirit wants you to not misinterpret the communication spiritually or here in the matrix, in the 3D, when it comes to relating to other humans, okay? So though, like I said, this person that created this imbalance, in your upbringing may have planted these seeds within you to make you internalize and think that, someone's out to get you or people are copying you. And Spirit is saying, no, 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 no. You are gifted, darling, and you need to recognize this, male or female. You are gifted, and your ancestors are trying to reach you, to communicate with you, to convey messages to you. And it's not what you think. It's actually more beautiful than you can imagine. So it's time for you to recognize your gifts. And there's no need to fight with the Page of Swords. There's no need to battle with yourself. You can put the sword down and you can rest and be assured that no weapon formed against you shall prosper. And yes, there are good people in the world. There are bad people in the world, but everyone is not out to get you and sabotage you. Just as many negative stories or cruel people that you meet, there's 10 positive stories or 10 positive people to equal that one negative situation. And I stand on that. So don't be fooled and think everything is all bad. Everyone is all negative. Source wants you to enjoy life. And the only way to enjoy that, you have to maintain your balance. And right now, it's in an upside down position. So it's very important that you put the sword down and don't be all in your head so much battling with yourself. A lot of things that we endure and experience are lessons for us to learn, or it could be signs or synchronicities that are being conveyed to you, things for you to pay attention to, okay? You may see a blue, like I mentioned, a blue shirt. That could represent your throat chakra. You may see a lot of green back to back, and maybe you decided to buy, I don't know, a green blanket, Maybe Spirit is saying, work on your heart chakra, or good job. You are in alignment. Your heart space is in alignment. I'm just using those as examples, okay? So it's not all bad. A lot of things is well, I'm stuttering here. You could be someone who has a speech impediment problem, who stutters. You could know someone who stutters, or they stutter when they get nervous, okay? And so with this process of allowing the unlearning to occur, Spirit is saying for you to be patient with yourself. And once again, if this is not your energy collective, this is someone that you know who is very hyper conscientious, hyper focused. And they're constantly always thinking someone's out to get them, someone's attacking them. Every time you talk to them, so-and-so is copying off of me. They want to be like me. It's rarely on a positive, upbeat note. And to be in this energy or around this energy can be quite draining. We understand things do happen in life. There are people who be off the hook, but not all the time. There is some gold out here, okay? There is some light in the darkness, okay? There are some great things happening. There are some great people in the world. And Spirit does not want you to miss, being able to have that experience of equal reciprocity, not just in love relationships, but in relationships overall, whether it's a business partnership, companionship, a best friend, a relative, any kind of connection or relationship. They want you to have this opportunity to receive the bliss and the happiness that life has to offer, and you will be in situations, whether you consider yourself to be introverted, extroverted, a loner, a parent, not a parent, doesn't matter where you're from. You will be in situations where you'll have to communicate and deal with people. Even if it's only when you're running errands or you got something to do, you will be in communication with people in one way or another, okay? And so it's time for you to enjoy your journey, enjoy your days here on planet Earth. Everything does not have to be all bad. Everything does not always have to be about sadness and grief. We have the television. All you have to do is turn on the news station and leave it on 24/7 if that's the kind of energy that you enjoy. Some people enjoy chaos energy. Actually, there are some people who work wonderful out of chaos energy. I mean, it's like magic, okay? But you don't have to reside to that. There's more behind the curtain. There's more than what meets the two eyes, but they want you to first focus on allowing the unlearning, the process to begin. You have free will. You are an adult, and it's okay. The things that you are or were not in agreement with when it comes to your upbringing or learned behavior. Maybe this is something that you picked up as an adult. It's okay to change that. It's never too late. It's never too late to make changes or progress in your life, especially when it's about your well-being. Okay, everything is not a competition. The Spirit is saying we have to be able to be successful and recognize that we're not the only ones who are capable of being successful. There is enough room for everyone. That was the message at the beginning. There's enough space in this place for everyone to be happy, to be victorious, to be successful. Now, what a person chooses to do with their 24 hours in a day, that's their business. Hey, we can't force that. But there's enough space in the world for everyone to be abundant, happy, beautiful, sexy, wealthy, healthy, whatever you want to do. If you want to be on social media, do that. There's no need to sit and criticize or be critical of what someone else is doing, because what they are doing may not be for you, and vice versa. What you're interested in may not be for the other person. And so we need to stay out of the energy of so much judgment and criticizing and critiquing, and really focus on just the positive things that are working for us, and do things that make you happy. If you see something that doesn't resonate with you, give it no attention. Go where, your interest is, go where you are intrigued the most. And it's just that simple. And we spend so much time, in general, we spend so much time, we waste so much time, whether you believe in time or not, on a lot of nonsense, on a lot of infantile things that simply just don't matter. It simply just don't matter, okay? Really focusing on building emotional intelligence and living in your truth. The next card we have here is the Hermit energy. It says spiritual enlightenment, soul searching, self-reflection, introspection, contemplation, truth, inner guidance, and solitude. So maybe possibly you may need some moments of solitude, not because you're sad, to recalibrate your energy, to go into reflection mode so that you can sit with yourself, sit with yourself and just be and let everything be for a moment. I call it pausing for the cause. Pausing for the cause, giving yourself a moment to breathe, giving yourself a moment to recalibrate your energy, but doing this consistently, not just today or next week, but taking time, like penciling you into your schedule. It's like a person has a schedule and they write down, what they have to do for that day. Spirit is saying, write yourself down, pencil you in, and create some me time for yourself, collective, where you're able to possibly have some quiet time and go into solitude. Okay? Because there are some things that are being overlooked here. We got 1, 2, 3, 4. We got 4. I see purple out here 4 times. And so, yeah, the downloads are the communication that is trying to reach you is for your highest good. It's nothing bad, okay? It's not what you think. They're saying it's not what you think. It's like having astral traveling, dreaming, aka dreaming, and you're running in the dream, and you assume when you wake up in the 3D that someone's out to get you. When in reality, the dream was just conveying that there's something that you need to stop running from. I'm just using that as another example. I'm throwing examples out there. Spirit is conveying messages to give you something to think about so you can understand this message. It's not what you think. It's not negative. It's not what you think. And also be mindful. You could also have someone around you who you socialize with on a regular basis who may be embellishing or intriguing this energy or this behavior or this insight that makes you feel that someone's after you or trying to copy off of you or attack you. You could have a friend or an associate who's they just jealous, they just hating, not all the time. Everybody ain't hating, baby. Not all the time. It happens, but not all the time. Not every day of the week. No, not every day of the week of your life. So you could have someone around you who could be intriguing this, and they're not paying attention to that. You're probably listening like, you know what? I never thought about that. My friend is always in my ear talking about I need to turn up and they hating on me. And that doesn't mean that your friend is a bad person. Look, we all are on different levels and we're learning each and every day, and the learning will never stop. That goes for me. As I'm speaking to you, I'm speaking to myself. That's why I'm mindful of what I convey and how I move. Yes, because those are the rules and there's a repercussion for that. So they may not be aware. Sometimes people do things and they're not aware that they are doing it. They don't know, and that's okay. And that doesn't mean that they're a bad person. You may want to say, hey, could you chill with that? Ain't nobody hating. You know what? We're going to go out and have a good time. Ain't nobody hating. Maybe you're getting dressed. You know what I'm saying? Y'all about to go out. Oh, you looking good. They going to be hating. No, ain't nobody going to be hating. We're going to go out and have a good time. Come on. That kind of energy. That kind of energy. You want to be mindful of the energy that you are intriguing and that you are calling into yourself. You want to be mindful of your words and your thoughts. Okay? As a parent, I share that with my offspring each and every day. Be mindful of your words and your thoughts. I tell my child that all the time. It's very important. And just because you are an adult, it doesn't mean that you don't need to be mindful of your words and your thoughts. Now, you don't have to, but guess what? There's a repercussion for that. It's your life, and I'm pretty sure no matter who you are, you at least want to enjoy even if it's a little bit of joy, a little bit of happiness. I'm pretty sure you want to put in some good stuff. I'm pretty sure you want to manifest some positive things in your life, some prosperity, some abundance, some high vibrational people, some healthy connections and relationships, some favor and opportunity. So it matters, how you feel about other people, what you think and say about other people, especially when you see other people progressing or winning. Does that make you feel some kind of way? Do you become angry or do you become intrigued or inspired? On my channel, I talk about some areas that people don't want to touch. I do that over here because that's part of my mission. Nothing more or less is being conveyed. Everything over here is spiritually led. Thank you for choosing to be here. Make sure you like, share, and you subscribe. I trust you will love this vibe, okay? It is up to you to change your world. It's all in your hands. The ball is in your corner. It's time for you to shoot, okay? We want a three-pointer shot. From downtown, we want a three-pointer shot, okay? The 2 and the 1 equaling the 3. You see it in the corner? Expression, growth. 3 represents growth. We want a three-pointer. It's time for you to shoot. Shoot your shot. Give yourself your best shot. Give it all you got. You're here to live. You're here to live your best life. You're here to experience it and get it popping and get it happening. Okay? Judgment is being called. Attention. These are the things that need to be focused on. Okay? That's Saturn energy, bringing discipline, showing you where restrictions need to be added in your life, giving you the ambition to be persistent in doing so. Okay? So it's a good idea to accept the judgment so that you can be in the flow of the changes of life. And that's how you close out old cycles and progress and move forward. 3 represents growth and expression. You no longer have to accept the page in the cups. You don't have to settle. You don't have to settle for anything. You don't have to settle when it comes to relationships. Oh, I guess I'll go ahead and just deal with it because ain't nothing to do with Saturday night. I guess I'll go and deal with her. It's Friday night, man. Ain't nothing to do. You don't have to deal with seat fillers, in your romantic life, in your social life, people whom, they're not on your vibration. There's no like-minded energy present, but you're tolerating them. You don't have to be in connections where you are tolerating people. You want to be in connections where there are reciprocity. And that's what everything that I'm mentioning is about. Understanding that everyone is not out to get you. Everyone is not trying to attack you. Every day of the week, everyone is not hating on you. You may experience that every now and then, but not all 7 days of the week. And all this stems from something in your upbringing, in your childhood. Someone, well, justice came out upside down. Someone projected imbalance into your life. Someone planted seeds of doubt when you were a small child. This could be through body shaming you, mocking you, making fun of how you look, your aesthetics, teasing you. I mentioned also this could be a school teacher. Maybe when you were younger and in grade school, maybe you had a school teacher who was foul and didn't care. Okay, this could be an uncle or an aunt. Okay, a sibling who maybe teased you or picked on you. Okay, maybe your big brother, I don't know, took all your toys or your dolls and threw them up against the wall. There's all kind of things that happen from small to medium to large throughout life that can make an impact or plant seeds of doubt, especially in small children when you're at the age of, being a sponge, those young ages. Being a toddler, I would say toddler all the way up to the, we 16, 17. There are different things that can occur in your upbringing within a family, and people assume or say, oh, that's nothing. No, those things matter. When you body shame people, when you tease people, mock people, maybe you felt left out. Maybe you felt like the black sheep. Maybe you felt you weren't treated fairly. Maybe you felt there was a lot of favoritism. And if these things aren't addressed, not meaning you have to go to someone and go off and be confrontational and start a fight, but do the healing work, surrender it and release it. You can vocalize to the person who inflicted that on you, but I would say it once and let it go, let it flow. When I was so and so, you made me feel this way, and let it go. Not constantly keep every time you see this person bringing it up, because that means you're not healing. That means you're still holding that resentment. But yeah, those issues need to be addressed. And there's so many people who are just running around unhealed, jumping in relationship to relationship under another person and another person, just moving on, getting up, going to work every day, doing what they have to do. That's what they're supposed to do, take care of themselves, taking their children to work, kissing her on the cheek, him on the cheek, and just moving about, but carrying so much on the inside. And then eventually it comes up. Sooner or later, it comes up. It turns into a reflection if it's not dealt with, if it's not addressed. It's just like being a female. And yes, I'm going to say this. And if it bothers you, oh well. Just like a female, and I am a female species myself, to become upset or angry or jealous if you see a beautiful woman walk into a room where you are, or walk into a gathering, becoming upset, jealous, envious because someone is beautiful, or they have a nice physique, or maybe they get a lot of attention. Yes, I talk about things that people don't want to talk about on this channel. Yeah, I do that. I do that a lot. We go deep over here. It makes no sense, to be mad at someone for the way that they look. This is just an avatar. This is just a fleshly suit. And if you work on your self-awareness, you will learn that, and you won't inflict and kick yourself down so much. You'll learn to love who you are. I don't care what you look like, what color you are, whether your teeth is crooked, missing, whether you got big feet, little feet, whether you got a big stomach, little stomach, whatever you are, whoever you are, love all of you. Nobody's going to love you more than you. Nobody wants your life to be great more than you. And you can't expect nobody outside of you to want that. And so it's very important to work on all these things that I'm naming, because it's all about confidence. It's been coming up all week. Let them know, work on the confidence. Let them know to do the healing. Let them know to surrender. It can't be suppressed. It will come up. It will come up somewhere. You may think it's behind you. Maybe you haven't dealt with it for 10, 15 years, and then you get into a new relationship and it comes up. It makes no sense to be envious because you see, maybe a nice looking guy or a guy that got his ish together. He think he all that. I'm gonna take him down a peg or two. No, he just got up and ironed his clothes and used some soap and water just like the rest of us do. Now that's his business. Now that he get attention, male and females. It makes no sense to want to sabotage and tear each other down. It makes no sense to be jealous of someone because they get attention or want to hurt someone. Because what you put out will return to you. And it's not about a belief system, it's law. Everything you put out will come back to you. How you feel about people, what you think about them, what you say about them. If you plan and plot and strategizing to hurt somebody, to tear them down, if you want to see them down, it's going to come back to you. I'm telling you. I'm telling you, that's the message. And it's coming through so strong that I can't even pick up this last card right here. Because they're telling me not to. We give so much attention to so much nonsense. And we need to really be focusing on ourselves. We all got bigger fish to fry. Hopefully it's a red snapper. Hopefully. The next card and the final card I have here is number 8, strength. You are strong. You have it. It's within you. But Source wants you to work on maintaining it, finding it and maintaining it, and constantly recalibrating it and constantly tweaking it. Make sure you're pouring into yourself. Make sure you're mindful of who you are allowing into your life. It comes a time where we play around and everything's a game, but it also comes a time where we have to really grow up and we have to really be mature, and make wise decisions, be mindful of what we're absorbing, what we're allowing into our circumference, into our life, into our aura field, into our home, into our lives. People we're dealing with, we're socializing with. What kind of conversations are we having? Everything that I'm talking about is, it goes back to confidence and strength. Having the strength to want to make sure that you are confident. Having the strength to work on these things and not be so concerned about what somebody is going to think about you. There are a lot of people who will, I'm not going to say it like that. There are a lot of people who have vanished from planet Earth because they were concerned about what someone is thinking or what somebody is going to say. There's a lot of people who will not live their dreams, who will not conquer their goals because they're so concerned about what the cool kids are going to say about them. So concerned about opinions and judgment. How people feel about me is really none of my business, because for me to try to get into everybody's head and figure out, I don't know why they don't like me, that's just too much. And life is too precious for that. Don't be one of those people who perish from planet Earth without living your life to the fullest potential and giving it your all and closing out the old cycles, releasing the pain, the drama, the trauma, karmic cycles, old relationships, unhealthy connections. Don't perish from planet Earth without receiving your enlightenment, without connecting to Source. Don't be so concerned with the cool kids. Don't be so overly concerned that when judgment takes place in your life, you're afraid to take that leap of faith because of what it's going to look like and what somebody is going to say. Don't be one of those people who always want to fight and be hostile because you feel someone is hating on you or copying you, and they're just answering the call. They're just answering the download, the message they receive. Or you observing them taking action could simply be a sign and a synchronicity for you to observe it so that you'll be intrigued and motivated to work on your own mission in your own path, in your own way. We are all reflections. We are all mirrors. Each action that we take in life, each experience, we observe each other because there is purpose and intention behind it, but it is up to you how you receive it. When you see mistakes and mishaps happen to people around you, do you receive it as inspiration of what you're not going to do or how to be encouraged? Or are you someone likely to stand by and critique or criticize? This concludes the read. I trust and hope that it assists you for your highest good.